We've been getting calls every day from villagers of Monkey River, from people along the coastline talking about all the Guatemalans that's camping at Rocky Point. We know that these Guatemalans have one or two Belizeans among them who basically are the ones who facilitate, I guess, the process for them to get their fishing license or whatever. But clearly you could see where Rocky Point is at. It's within a few minutes of 3 world-class marine reserves, the Port Honduras, Sapo de la Keys, and Laughing Bird Key, and Silky Marine Reserve, 4 marine reserves. And you have all of these Guatemalans with all these nets, you know, which are actually destroying the livelihoods of the other people, because the people involved in the tourism industry or in the fly fishing industry, their industry is collapsing. And in 10 years' time, when this gill net, because these guys were in the Port Honduras before, they moved from there because they had completely raped that area. Now they moved more north. You know, and that's our concern. I mean, we are reacting to a lot of calls that we get from people along the coast who talk about their livelihood being interrupted by these Guatemalans and their unsustainable fishing methods. And you could see this morning we were out there. We did not see one Coast Guard boat, one BDF boat. We did not see a fisheries boat, nor not even a ranger boat from the reserves. So who is there to manage them or to monitor their behavior? They're policing themselves, and you can see all their gear is unsustainable. So, I mean, it's not beneficial to Belize. I have no idea why people involved in this so-called managed access still grant these guys license, because they have to have Belizean license, you know, for them to be so freely out there. How do they get that is the million-dollar question.
Now, Mr. Will, the immediate concern that arises from these allegations is that there is no real way to prove that these are Guatemalans, sir. You may know that they are Guatemalans, but I don't. I have no proof that these are Guatemalans.
Yeah, well, you know, it's the same thing that's going on with the investigation right now. There's no real way to prove all irregularities happening in immigration, right? But we know it's happening. The Belizean people know that it's happening. And it's the same thing that's happening in the sea. All these fishing licenses, but again, those people on the managed access committee, they need to demand some transparency, because it's not transparent right now. Because how can these guys get these managed access license to fish in these areas?
Do you all suspect that they're being facilitated by the fisheries department as well?
Well, of course. They have their license. Some of them have their license. We didn't see all of their license today. They say that they have their license. We know that they live in Guatemala. You can see, like, you know, from the footage, a lot of the boats does not even have the numbering, and so, which is illegal. There's so much things that they could nail them on. So obviously the law is on their side. The law is accommodating their irregularities. You know, I mean, that's clear to be seen. If you look at those footage and look at the boats, they don't have their numbers. They don't clearly have their Belizean license. And why is it that they are still permitted to fish and with those unsustainable methods within 4 marine reserves?
Now, Will, we have to entertain the possibility that these may be legitimate fishermen, and they reacted very aggressively to your presence, and they accused you of supposedly harassing them doing this year after year. Do they have any fair reason to say that you are just simply harassing them?
Well, year after year, when we come there, there's 2 Belizeans there. None of the others like even spoke to us, speak in English or anything like that. We know for sure 100% that they are Guatemalans. They probably have valid voting ID, right, with all the irregularities that's taking place or that has been taking place at the immigration. But the fact of the matter is that year after year, when we come there and the stuff get aired on the news, then the enforcement agencies, they take shame, they come and they move, and then they come back again the next year. But we know between November and the beginning of Lent, which is sometime towards the end of February, that our waters get raped by the Guatemalans, and that is evident to be seen there with all the gill nets, all the long lines, and all the fish that was caught in nets. It's right there in the footage to be so the police and people could see it. The people living right 5 minutes away in Monkey River, they can't use nets like that, you know. So it's unfair to the Belizean. It's very, very unfair to the Belizean to be treated in this manner when the Guatemalans come in here, facilitated, of course, by 1 or 2 Belizeans, have all these privileges. Again, I want to state that we have not seen a ranger patrol, we have not seen a BDF or Coast Guard patrol, we have not seen a fisheries patrol. We've been out here for several hours now. All this stuff is right there, it's happening, and where are the enforcement agencies?